All right, I just want to mention three other injection challenges here. The CMD injection might be the easiest for Windows users. This is good old MS-DOS, these days called Windows Command Prompt, with commands like dir and such. You can make a page that allows people execution into dir, and that's what I've done here. So if I put in a dot for a directory and type show contents, it will show me the execute the command dir dot. So what this does is it runs, I think, a PHP file or some other scripting language, probably PHP, and then it just executes the command dir followed by whatever you put here. So again, you can add more commands with the ampersand, the way you did with the semicolon in bash. So if I put in who am I, it will do the directory, and then it will show me that I'm the administrator, which is pretty outrageous. And of course, why this thing keeps crashing all the time, because not only do you get command injection, you get command injection on Windows as administrator. So this one gets trashed a lot, as you would imagine. But again, you can now use the echo commands to write to a file, and you can execute any commands you want. And there are some flags defined on the server here to show that you've got the ability to execute commands. So there's a couple flags hidden here and there. So that's probably the most familiar kind of command injection for Windows users. Then this one here is Salt. Salt hit the news a month or two ago, a popular remote administration tool used on Linux servers that turned out to have a command injection vulnerability. So you can make your own target server here in Debian 9. I love Git because you can just git clone something and you can use git tag to see all the versions. So it's very easy to install an old vulnerable version of something. So this is bloody awesome. All you have to do is check out the old version and then run that. So you run Salt, and Salt is now listening on some ports, 4505 and 4506, sort of like Microsoft Remote Desktop. It just gives you the ability to remotely administer your server. And in fact, it can do a whole fleet of servers. But in this case, I'm just doing one because I don't really care about accomplishing anything good with it. I just want to hack into it. So I went and found a proof of concept exploit that somebody wrote. And like a lot of people do, they put bugs in the exploit. I've heard people say they even do this deliberately as some kind of security measure so that script kiddies can't run it or something. I don't know, but it's often the case that people post proof of concept code that doesn't work very well. So in this case, you can make it run better by just taking this false and turning it into true. By default, it will just always decide that the server is not vulnerable and not run. And that makes it possible to do some things, but if you actually pay more attention to the error messages, you can fix this exploit more and get all the features working. But anyway, you can exploit a server, and when you do, it gets something called the root key. And the root key gives you complete control over a server running this product called Salt. So I got a flag where you just get the Salt key, and then I've got a server I ran, and you can now connect on a different port, and there's a file on there you have to read, which has a flag in it. So you can practice using that Salt vulnerability, which is pretty new. And there's an older one, PHP-FM, which is again similar. This was a PHP module that had, again, a command injection vulnerability. So you set up a playground environment using Docker. And then once you've got this thing listening, you open the firewall rule to reach it from the outside. And now you can send an attack up with curl, or rather you can download some attack code using curl and run this exploit, PHP-FPM dam. And again, it works by command injection. It puts a PHP shell up so you get command injection. And there are some flags to find there. So there's a few more. All these are very similar. All these command injections come from the same basic flaw, but it is one of the most common flaws. It's the #1 of the top 10 web vulnerabilities is command injection, usually SQL injection, but all these others count too. So you can try those. I'm going to stop this one and put it up.